Now, this is why my sister Renee can't get here from Claxton, or my sister Shonda from Thunderbolt, wherever the hell she is, I don't even know, right? But wherever they live, for example, right, they gotta get to my house and then go back home, right? Now, I don't know if you ever slept with someone or not, right? But if you leave someone alone, say, for less than 30 minutes to an hour, and you gotta go to the bathroom a few times in the night, right? Normal things like that, right? Well, again, right, if your spouse drives to my house, right, it would wake you up, right? Right. Eventually, right? Because you were sleeping with someone and then you go to reach for them and they're not there anymore. Right. Right. Now, I sleep alone, right? But I still wake up several times during the night. Right. But I also don't expect anyone to wake up with me. But only someone who comes here can change the channel on the TV, right? And us either do it together or I ask her to do it without telling me or whatever, right? When she got in the house, right? Now, it's when she leaves, I'm going to be as protective of her as I can, right? That's when you might can get me, but the only thing that might get me would be what? A gunshot wound, right? To the head? Okay, you see what I mean? But I'm alive by morning. So I'm telling you, Jesus can heal me like the Wolverine, and you just don't want to believe it, right? I guess you think you're missing. Well, I wake up with a swollen eye every morning. What do you think that's about? It ain't cause of the food I'm eating. The medication should take care of that. Again, that's part of its job, idiot, is to help you deal with all that. And they're trying to keep my blood pressure within a certain high and low, right? Right, right. Around 120 over, say, 80, whatever. Well, right now, it's not even that high, right? As it used to be in the past anyway. First. And again, right, I did get a little bigger, but I also lost the weight last December, right? In about less than a month and a half. I cut my meals to just 2 a day. Now I can do that at the end of this year, because after I pay off my little loans here, right, I can have money to buy clothes and can even give these clothes to the Goodwill if I want to, right? See, that's part of the problem I have also about losing weight real quick, right? I'll need new clothes, and I'm trying to make sure I got the money to buy the clothes, right? Things like that, right? Of course, right? And again, giving it to the Goodwill will help out other people, right? Especially bigger people like I am now, right? So, see, I got a plan. I'm just slowly executing it, right? Whether you understand it or not, right? And I know it'll work this year, too, because it worked last year. Right. Right. Now, I'm keeping my weight right now around between 332 and 337. Somewhere in there. Right.
Body weight is 336.6 pounds.
So it's 336.6 pounds. And by morning, I'll be down a few more pounds, right? Because I'm not going to eat anything till morning, right? And you usually lose weight more at night than in the morning, right? Because you do what's called fasting for at least 12 hours. And you usually go down. And then you wake up and eat break fast, or breakfast. They just kind of say it fast for some reason. But anyway, which means quickly there. There's two definitions for fast too as well. One means to go without food. One means to run quickly or do something fast as you can, like do your fingers like this fast, not like this slow. So fast is also a word that has two different meanings now. Congratulations, you learned something. Even if you don't want to learn something, you learn something, huh? And sometimes that's your problem. You want to learn from the devil the knowledge of good and evil, and not the knowledge of unconditional love, don't you now? Well, one of them shows you how to be right and wrong to each other till you die, idiot. And one can save you and raise you from the dead. Not both. You understand? You cannot be good and evil and serve God. You'd even be better off to be evil or good than do that. And God could deal with you quicker. Either way. But any tree that bears forth not good fruit is casted into the fire anyway. Right? But you're to be perfect in heaven as your Father in heaven is perfect, right? But your mother, the New Jerusalem, right, who always is in heaven, right, with the Father, she's your mother, silly, right? Now, you contain all the elements in the planet, right? Certain elements, right? I know. Except for something metallic, right? Right. You're not gold, you're not silver, you're not wood. So you act like a dumb tree. You can't talk, right? I know. So you want to believe a serpent and a donkey can speak without help. Something opened its mouth. And you won't get that either, will you? Ever heard of ventriloquism? Right. It's where something with vocal cords speaks for something that don't, right? But you can't see the thing speaking for the serpent. It's hiding behind a tree, fool. That's covering its own limbs. While it's talking to you like it's the serpent. And you call me crazy. Just like the angel did with Balaam's donkey, right? When it opened up its mouth. Who do you think had the vocal cords there? The angel or the donkey? The angel. Right. Had the vocal cords to speak to Balaam. The donkey still was the donkey, right? It wasn't given special vocal cords. And all it could do was like all donkeys. And I don't think it can do nothing else. I ain't never heard a donkey do nothing else. At all. Though the prophet was mad, like Peter said. To even hear it talk to him, right? I know. He was trying to force it down the path it didn't want to go, right? It saw something he couldn't, right? In the way. If you remember the story correctly, right? And then the angel of the Lord opened his mouth that it may speak to him. Which he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, huh? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You all are. You're not getting it. And there's two angels involved, right? The first and the second. The first is the firstborn of every creature, by the way. Not the second. Yet, even with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is he the firstborn? No. Though Abraham is. Oh, wait a minute. Is Lot his younger brother or older brother? I forget. Just a question. Two. But with Isaac and Jacob, they're the second born child, right? I guess. Though God did say one was the only child, but whatever that may mean, right? You know, right? You can only theorize about why, and the only reason is if it's Ishmael got Rebecca pregnant too, right? And Esau was Ishmael's and Jacob was Isaac's. Suggestion? Right? Anyone? Right? Probably. Not talking about Isaac now. Right? So, again, when he was sacrificed instead of Ishmael. Now, if the Muslims are completely changing the story, that just means they don't trust you with the story, right? By the way. But again, are giving you a counterpoint of view, right? Right. Though religiously he should have been, right? In a way. Being that he was the firstborn, right? Though he did, and his mother were cast into the desert by none other than Sarah herself, right? And Abraham consented, right? Though the angel of the Lord either gave them a mirage or real water, You can't live off of sand in the desert, right? So whatever. Now, right. When you accuse someone, like the old saying goes, and you try to point the finger, there's always three pointing back at you in your own sentence, right? So start with the man in the mirror, like Jesus said, and get the beam out your eye before you try to remove the mote from your brother's eye. Because, see, your sins can be greater than his, and you not even know what you're doing wrong, right? That's the first lesson about judging Jesus teaches, right? So he says in the parables there, right, and stories, right, that if you look upon a woman to lust after her, in your heart, you've done committed it. Why? If you judge an adulterer, and you look upon a woman with lust, you're already wanting to be with her, right? Now, if you condemn the adulterer, you're condemning your own thought of being with another woman, right? But if you forgive the adulterer and try to find your own life, right, you're then doing what? The right thing, right? Now, again, like I told you about homosexuality or heterosexuality, they too are between two couples, no different than a male and female couple now either. Yet the punishment for the sin is the same as adultery with the woman or a man, right? Only thing is, Moses called it an abomination, huh? Whatever that means in the Hebrew. He puts a word there, right? That King James interpreted as abomination, right? But see, all sin is sin. I know, right? And he forgave the woman caught in the act of adultery. So I still don't think you get the message there, huh? Right? It's going over your head, right? He's not just forgiving her, but anyone caught in the act of adultery. Whether you're with him, a man or a woman. Right. And he's trying to teach you how to forgive unconditionally, fool. See, unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness is all God can show us since it's still pure spirit, right? And it made Adam and Eve, right, too, after Jesus and the angels is my theory, right? On day 4, he made Jesus and the angels, right? up to a certain number during that 1,000-year period. Why? For the trees to have an oxygen and carbon dioxide flow, right? Right. So if you put the trees in day 3, right, when do you need a human being then? Or something to breathe the air for the trees? Don't they take in carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or something? Right. And don't they give off oxygen or something? Right. Right. Mm-hmm. I thought so, right? Right. So the trees, if they're made by a certain day, need what to breathe with them? Humans. Something has to be here, or you got somewhere between 4,000 years, right? Still, 3,000, right? If you get my good drift, right? Before the first human or the animals are made, right? Now, from day 3 to day 4 is 2,000 years, right? So is from day 4 to day 6, right? And it's in, right? Right? Two to make, again, what? The heavens and the earth, right? The light, the darkness, the firmament, and the what? Sea and land, right? Day 3, he's making the trees, right? Again, even. Now, when you make trees, like I said, right, something has to breathe the oxygenated air. So they have an ecosystem developing, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you've been saying dinosaur time. Something like that. Something has to breathe oxygen while the trees are developing, huh? Right. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, Moses, being he's human, does he know everything? He's a man and not God. Even Balaam said that himself, right? Though he's still resisting the angel, right? And doing what he wants to do, right? And is rebuked by the donkey, right? Yeah. I know. Which is all I ever heard one say. Ever. I don't hear a snake saying anything unless it's hissing or got a rattlesnake. They don't really do much nothing, right? Except bite your ass on the heel. Wonder what that is. Because like an eel, they go around the ground, huh? Well, did it once have legs? And if it's a long creature, what would legs look like on the serpent anyway? I don't know. Right? Would it be kind of odd, right? Looking legs, right? You got the Komodo dragon, right? But it's still not like a snake. It's long and slender like an eel, right? I know. Or a worm. I am a worm and no man, says the Son of God. But if I, like the serpent of Moses, the bronze serpent, be lifted up, I will draw all to me. Not just men, women too. Right. You're only trying to save half the world too, right? Not the other half, right? Through the body of Christ, right? Don't you get that too, right? Women sin too, Both have to be equally represented in his body, or again, right? He's just dying for the men. Save their sins, right? What do you think, because you're greater than her, he has to assume your image? Or both, which is neither, right? When you're neither something, you can say, I am God and no man. And, right, I am your mother and father, right? And you are my sons and daughters, right? Though you know me not, right? You can say, I'm not a strange God among you, but don't make graven images in the likeness of male or female. Either or. Fool. If you can't get that, you don't want to get that. You're being blind as a bat. As they say, flying about in the day. Without no radar. Bumping into trees. Add that little pun there too, right? Or you're not getting the truth, right? See, whatever you're doing, whatever's going on with the TV, right, it's abnormal. And I know because I've had Dish before that never did that before, unless, again, right, you somehow mess with the box, and even then, when you turn it off for a while, it goes into what's called saver mode, right? And you still have to mess with the channel switch to turn the channel, right? And push the channel up to get it to even turn back on, right? If you know what I mean. There. And again, sitting on the toilet seat in the bathrooms, last time I checked, is not too crazy or too out there. Especially if they're showing little kids poop on AFE. No biggie though, right? Exactly. I'm not naked or anything, or sitting on the toilet taking a dump. I'm just hitting on the thong. My toilet thong. Right. But if I serve God as Jesus did, I can sit on the throne of God with him, he says, right? You too, if you want. But if you don't, and you're following Satan still, guess where you go to? Where he went. Wherever that was, right? That's the warning, right? See, if you keep choosing the knowledge of good and evil over unconditional love, you're only going to send yourself to hell sooner, right? And even if God resurrects us all, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And Moses too, right? All the way to now. All the way till the end of the true end of the world, right? Whenever that may be, right? If we destroy ourselves or whatever, right? Astrally, whatever, right? Whatever means is destroyed by Satan's sin is destroying the planet from within, right? And we're either helping him destroy it from within by not knowing the truth of God, right? Or we're not, right? And one of those truths is what? Love, forgiveness, and grace, right? The three things that really save you. See, if you forgive the sinner, what happens to you? You're perfect? No. But if you think you're perfect, are you perfect? No. That means your vanity is that you're good enough to make it into heaven by your works alone, and you're not, all right? Are we to try to do good work? Sure. The key word is what? Try. If you tell me don't sleep with a 16-year-old, I won't sleep with a 16-year-old. I won't sleep with a 60-year-old. If you say I can be with an 18-year-old, I can what? Be with an 18-year-old. Right. Now, I don't mind either law, right? 16 or 18 fine to me if that's what the law says I can do, right? But if it says I can't be with someone under 16, I don't even know that, right? I don't even worry about it, right? Because I don't hang out with school children. Even if my neighborhood has school children walking through it, I don't mess with them. If they say hi to me, I'll say hi back. That's about it. If I go outside, it's to exercise on my block, right? It's not to talk to little girls, right? Or little boys. Either or. That don't tempt me either way, right? But if it tempts you, and you condemn, again, a gay person, yet you lust after a man, you've done committed adultery in your heart, right? That applies too. If you lie about it, it's worse. Because you're condemning sex with consent, right? Do you understand? When those who are doing it feel fine doing it, they don't feel like they're doing nothing wrong. Right? And again, right, you're the one who's listening to some 3,500-year-old book written by a man whom you claim is your God. Last time I checked, the God you're following is a jealous God. It will have no other gods before it. Okay? It will punish the iniquities, including condemnation of the sinner because you're doing the same sin. Get it? Now, you don't forgive because of you either. You simply forgive because God and Christ forgave you while you were sinning too. Okay? You understand? Right? This is the key message. Though you need general rules for everybody, right? You can't drive 55, but that's why the speed limit says so, and you get a ticket if you don't, right? And you gotta pay a fine, right? Now, if I'm not driving 55, it's called something up by behind me trying to go 75. And I'm about going 65 just to get out of the way. Though I try to keep it under 10 miles. I told you that before too, right? If I go over speed limit, I'm trying to get out somebody's way. It's not like they want to run me over. Right. And up my butt while I'm driving down the road, right? Though I can't do nothing about it, right? Right. He's done gone my time police to get there anyway. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's not that I haven't been around friends that speed in their own car, but like I said, it's the big deal if you get do it or not, right? So you get what? Caught. Then you're SOL. Then you're SOL. You take it. Now, like I said, even with the stop sign, what happened was I stopped the car lead behind the stop sign. Okay, because you got two at that stop sign, you can stop behind the stop sign with. So I stopped the first car lead, looped both ways, but was blocking the view of the officer. So when I pulled out quickly, right, it looked like I kind of ran the stop sign, right? I didn't. I had stopped. But I was where he couldn't see me with the trees, right? Because see, they still cut it so close, right? And they got a lot of trees there near the crystal. Right. But if you can stop two car lanes behind the stop sign, right, one of those car lanes could still cover you by the trees, right? All I would have to do is like take pictures, right? I don't know. Right? How can you prove that, right, in court? Right. Another problem, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the point too, right? All you can do is what you're allowed to do, right? if you come to a stop sign, though, right? It doesn't say you have to stop directly in front of it either, right? Like with the one in Garden City, right? See, the one in Garden City, you have a whole, when you're turning right, a whole line of sight, right? A whole lot of sight to see no one's coming, right? And if you're in a Mustang and you just scare the officer, right? Do you run the stop sign there either? No. But it's a Mustang. It can pull out quick. Right. Even at a dead stop. I know. But it can only do like 20 miles or something. Even that fast, right? So it goes 0 to 60 in how many seconds, they say? About 6 or 7? Okay. I didn't plan on going that fast either, but 35 is the speed limit, right? So how fast do you think I can get? If I'm at a dead stop there too, right? Pretty quick. Within a few seconds of pulling out, right? So he's pretending I ran the stop sign, ain't he? Right? But whatever, right? I tried to explain that too, right? But that's life too, right? You're going to get tickets, you're going to get fined, you're going to get people who don't understand you, even police officers, right? Even bus drivers, right? Though you still have a right to tell your side of the story, even if they don't want to listen. I know. And you weren't there. You didn't show up until later on anyway, after the traffic cleared a lot. And that's why the wreck happened. Not because I was running the yellow light, but because she probably was, huh? I knew the light turned yellow and I tried to stop, right? Without entering her lane. And from what I could tell, pulling out from the public, she got more room with a left-hand turn than from Rice Creek, where she was coming from. In fact, she has a narrower margin for error than I do going straight. But that don't make sense. That's not why I sued the officer either, to try and get the case going, right? Because I didn't know what to do anyway. Or who to sue. Or was I supposed to sue the bus company or the driver herself? Well, she didn't write it to take it and make it my fault. He did. Even though I tried to explain it to him, he wouldn't let my side be his truth, right? Even though he wasn't there when it happened. I don't know what the hell she told him she was doing, right? I don't have a clue. But I felt like the odds were stacked against me 2-1 anyway, right? Right. And she would lose her job if she hit me, huh? That don't make sense either unless she was. Don't want it to, right? And what? Because I'm talking about my case on YouTube, right? Who says I can't? It's my side of the argument, right? From the day it happened, right? I have a right to disclose what all happened in my memory, right? And funny, right? I only seem to have mild sleeping issues about a channel change I don't remember doing, but I remember everything else from the day before, right? I did pretty much the day before, right? Now, going a week back, I can tell you my main routines, right? Is eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But not everything I eat, I'll eat either, right? I've forgotten a few things I have to eat, right? But I know one day I did McDonald's and Burger King, right? But that was again because I didn't have nothing for lunch, but had a late breakfast, right? Right. So by the time I got out of the movie, it was after around 4. Right. And that's kind of the point, too, right? Now, the only problem with the Burger King is that it's supposed to be no onion heavy pickles, and they took off the pickles, too, right? But I didn't know that until I got home. Again, nothing I can do about that. I ain't worried about a few pickles, or either way, you know. You don't sweat the what? Small stuff, either. Right, right. And even if it's big stuff, who made it against his law? Moses, right? Now, if a bunch of gay people want to rape you because you're judging them, does it not make sense if you stop judging them so harshly? They might stop not wanting to rape you or something, right? Huh? Either. Are you assuming all gay men are rapists? Is that it? I don't think so. And only you, if you're a rapist yourself, would know that you rape men or not, right? And what, that's not a crime? Right? That's not adultery too if you have a wife? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. See, the thing is, both of them right, commit adultery, right? The same way as a male and female, right? And Christ forgave the sin, right? Who doesn't want to forgive sin that I'm telling you don't want to forgive sin? Satan and his angels. Who wants us to forgive the sinner their sins, right? God and Jesus and their angels, right? Now you can also call Jesus Michael if you want, even Gabriel if you want. Because one of his epithets is Gabor, or GBR. See, Gabor is who's born to Jerusalem, not being. Gabor is born to Jerusalem. That ain't a man or a woman. Though as Ish and Isha. Or Yolda. What's a Yolda? Jeez. A pregnant woman about to give birth, right? God will cry as a mighty Gabor, Ish, in Yolda, which means a woman in travail. Who do you think can scream louder, though? A woman in travail or two men? Who you perceive to be men, right? The woman. And higher, too, I bet. Pelvic injury might help you to go that, right. I don't know. Maybe I just had to relearn how to do it since I was a kid and people convinced me I couldn't do it, so I quit trying to do it, right? And things like that, You know, if you stop doing something you can do as a child and they tell you can't do it anymore and you don't try, well, that kind of defeats that purpose too, right? You quit trying, right? And you believe them, you're taking away your own ability to do that, You're not trying anymore. Right. And it's kind of like forgetting what you ate last week. You kind of forget how you did it because you're not thinking about when you're a kid, right? You just do it, right? Then when you become an adult, you have to relearn how to do it. Because it's not normal anymore. There you go. Get over yourselves. Forgive.